Hello, boys and girls. Good evening and welcome to the live session on Quantitative Aptitude for the SSC CHSL exam brought to you by TalentSprint. At the outset, I wish you all a very happy new year, right? The year 2017. I hope that you get your dream bank or SSC job this year, right? I'm sure with all the efforts that you're putting in, you will, get through your dream career this year. Now, today's session, like you all know, is on the SSC CHSL exam, which has already started, in fact. But then we have this weekly live session where we look at different subjects every week. So, session will be quantitative aptitude for this exam, right? And the exam is scheduled for a longer window. It will go on until Feb 10th or 17th, if I'm not. So, I'm sure definitely some of you will benefit, right? Those who have not taken the exam. And even otherwise, this is a session on quantitative aptitude. So anything that we solve would be useful for your preparation, right? Whether it is bank exams or SSC exams. Now, what I would like to hear from all of you is how's your preparation for this exam, right? And if there's anyone here who has already taken it, please share your feedback. It will give us a great insight on what is happening this year, right? You know that the scheme of examination has changed from this year. The exam has also gone online, right? Until last year it was a paper-based test, but this year it is going to be online. So if you can quickly help me with how's your preparation, it will be really great. And if you have taken it already, the SSC CHSL exam, please tell us about your performance and how did you find it on that day. I can see some of you have joined the chat, right? Like Uma Maheshwar, Vijay, Pallavi, right? And there are a lot here on the chat, which is there on YouTube. Let me get comments. Yeah, so we have a lot of you here, right? Pooja Bishnoi, Ashutosh, then we have Sachin Kumar, Gurmeet, Vicky, right? Victor, exam topper, Prashant. So a lot of you here. Thank you all for joining us in this session, and good to see that you already started engaging yourself with us. So the question was, how's your preparation? I'm sure this year 2017 is only going to be better than last year, right? With a lot of notifications being expected from various banks and Staff Selection Commission. Well, Staff Selection Commission has their own calendar which they follow. So a lot of opportunities there, given that you practice, keep practicing regularly. Okay, some of you have mentioned that speak in Hindi also. Well, I would love to do that, but then the session is scheduled already and the medium of instruction is supposed to be English. So I'm afraid that I'll not be able to do it in Hindi. If you're unable to follow, you can put it up in the chat like you're interacting here, and I'll explain that to you in Hindi. All right. So how's it going? If you can just give me a minute, I would like to get this chat on the main screen so that it's easy for me to interact with you guys. Just a minute. All right. Sorry about that inconvenience caused. I'm back here. So Ramesh says, start the session, sir. Ratios or percentages, which covers more topics. Once again. Yeah, which cover in 3 or 4 topics. Okay, so you want me to cover proportions and percentages. Important. Well, I really appreciate your feedback, Ramesh, and I also agree that percentages by far is the most important topic, right? Because this is used not only in the questions from percentages, but also from topics like profit and loss, simple and compound interest, data interpretation, time and work, time and distance, etc. So it is very, very important. You must definitely focus on that. But today's session is about solving questions in this year paper. I got one copy of the last year's paper, right? You know that SSC exams are conducted with this test form number. So this is test form number 3212917. Sure, you all know that papers are let out with the candidates, so not difficult to source the paper at all. What I will do is quickly, run through all these 50 questions. Let us have a understanding about what type of questions and from which topics were the questions asked last year, and then we'll solve some of these. So just looking at the part 3 here, which is quantitative aptitude. And if you see, the first one is from algebra, right? The second question is from profit and loss. The third one is from geometry. Fourth, relation. Number 5 is from, partnership. Question number 6 is heights and distance. Question number 7 is time and distance. Question number 8 is about number systems. Question number 9 is from geometry, trigonometry. Then we have 5 questions from data interpretation, right? Then trigonometry, time and work, geometry, average. Again, one more data interpretation based question, which is a pie chart here, right? He's talking about, the pie chart, which shows how the school funds are spent under different heads in a certain school. So they have given us the distribution of across library, miscellaneous, arts and craft. So this again is a simple data interpretation based question. Okay. Then we have mensuration again, algebra, trigonometry, profit and loss, algebra, heights and distance. Then there is a question from simple and compound interest. Then there's one from LCM and HCF. So if you see overall, they have asked questions from almost all the topics here, right? Yeah, number systems again, mensuration, surds and indices, triangles, time and work, time and distance. Okay, simple and compound interest, pipes and systems. So the point is, they ask questions from almost all the topics in these SSC CGL and SSC CHSL exams. This is not a new piece of information, I'm sure, right? All of you are aware of what happens here. Now, the point is, what are we going to do now? Well, we'll not be able to solve all the 50 questions, but I've chosen some questions from paper, which we will take up immediately. But my sincere advice to all of you is to spend a lot of your time in practicing on calculations. Because I figured out over a few years of my teaching experience is that most of the students fail to score more in quantitative aptitude, not because they are not aware of the shortcut formula or the smart methods. It is just because they do not know how to do calculations. Right? I discussed this times already through our free live sessions. Right? We do a free live session every Wednesday where we talk about different subjects and different topics and different exams. But then one thing which has been common in all the sessions on quantitative aptitude, like today's session is on quantitative aptitude, right? So in all these sessions, the one common thing that is we have to be really very good in doing calculations mentally. If you can improve on your numerical skills, your score would automatically improve, right? Understand, the questions are from quantitative aptitude. Quantities are involved, numbers are involved. So whatever be the topic, whether it is time and work or time and distance or profit and loss or percentages or mensuration or geometry, some or the other calculation has to be done. Okay, the formula, the be different with different people, but the calculation is common. And this is where we get stuck, right? If I ask you in general, casually, do you know how to multiply, add, divide, or subtract? All of you would say yes. But then if I ask you what is 31 into, let's say, 48, you'll start doing it on paper. Honestly, if you check 31 into 48, not everybody does it mentally. But 31 into 48 is a very simple calculation. You must be capable enough of doing it mentally. without having to put pen on paper. Now, whatever technique you use, whether you use split and merge or you try to do IXI, there are different techniques that we have discussed, right? So the point that I'm trying to make here is learn all these important techniques related to numerical skills, right? Speed maths, basically. How do you multiply 2-digit numbers, right? How do you multiply 3-digit numbers? What are complementary numbers? How do you use, let's say, digital root method? How do you use the split and merge method, right? These are very, very useful. And practice more and more every day so that you can really improve your score in this section, right? Do not run behind the shortcut formula. Shortcut formula can be learned by anyone in just 1 day of time, right? But what is that one thing that not all of us can do is the calculation. So you have to really practice on that. Okay. So 48 into 31, by the way, nobody has answered. I was hoping that some of you would answer, but looks like you're used to paperwork. You're getting me? So avoid paperwork, right? The funda is to avoid paperwork, cut down the number of steps that you write in paper so that you can arrive at the answer really quick. Now, how would you do 48 into 48 into 10 is 480, so into 30 would be 1440 plus 48. So 1488 would be the answer. You're getting it? Or 31 into 48. 48 is not 48. 48 is 50 minus 2, right? The idea is to split the number so that the calculation becomes easier. Earlier, we had assumed 31 as 1. So 48 into 30, 1440, 48 into 1, 48. So 1440 plus 48 is 1480. Or the other way to do it is split 48. 48 can be taken as 50 minus 2. So 31 into 50 minus 31 into 2. Now what is 31 into 50? Now we have discussed this also. If you look at our speed maths video, it is actually for like close to 3.5 hours. But if you look at that, not even 3 hours, it is like 4 hours, 20 minutes, more than 4 hours. A lot of techniques have been discussed there. You can just go back and watch that video. So how do you multiply a number with 5? This is one concept covered there. How do you multiply a number by 5? Like 4 into 5 is 20. 8 into 5 is 40. 9 into 5 is 45. We are able to answer these questions because we already know the answers. We have learned these values by heart. But do you actually do the calculation on the spot? No. Like 4 into 5, everybody says 20, but nobody is doing the calculation. They know the answer. But just remember the simple technique. Multiplying a number with 5 is very easy. Take half of the number, multiply by 10. Multiplying with 5 is difficult, but multiplying with 10 is very easy. So what do? Any number, when you have to multiply by 5, just take half of that number and multiply the result by 10. So 4 into 5, half of 4 is 2 into 10, 20. 8 into 5, half of 8 is 4 into 10, 40. 9 into 5, what is half of 9? 4.5 into 10, 45. 16 into 5, half is 8, so 80. 14 into 5, half of 14 is 7, so 70 is the answer. You're getting it? So let's say we have to do 28 into 5, 140 is the answer. 88 into 5, 440 is the answer. 62 into 5, 310 is the answer. Now what is 31 into 5? See, our requirement was 31 into 50. 31 was to be multiplied by 50. Into 50 into 5. If you know what is into 5, into 50 is readily available. So what is 31 into 5? Half of 31, 15.5. See, doing half is very easy, 15.5. 31 half is 15.5 into 10, 15.5 into 10, 155. So if you within no time, you would know that 31 into 5 is 155 or into 50 is 1550. 31 into 50 is 1550. But what is the actual calculation? 31 into 50 minus 31 into 2. 31 into 50 minus 31 into 2. What is 31 into 2? 62. So 1550 minus 62. I'm sure it is sounding complex to some of you, if not all. Some of you are like, this is all nonsense. I can do it on paper much faster. But then when you are learning it for the first time and you're trying to do it for the first time, it naturally takes a little longer. Once you're used to it, it becomes very, very easy. I am explaining the process, so it is taking so much of time. If you have to do it yourself, it will be really quick, right? 31 into 48, so into 50 minus into 2. So into 50 is 1550 minus 62. 1550 minus 62 is 1488. In fact, the easier method is to split 31, whatever we had done in the earlier method, right? Instead of breaking 48, you break 31. 48 into 30, 1440. 48 into 1, 48. So 1440 plus 48, 8 would be the answer. Any numbers would change. Just be really quick and cut down the number of steps that kind of. So remember, I'm sure all of you want to score more, especially in a subject like quantitative aptitude, which is highly scoring, right? You have to be really quick in your calculations. Okay. So spend 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Spend about 1 hour every day in just playing with numbers, right? Numbers randomly, try to multiply, add, divide, subtract, and so on. Like for example, 72 into let's say 43. Now, would you put pen on paper for this? No. 72 into 43. 72 into 10 is 720. So into 40. 43 is not 43. 43 is 40 plus 3. So 72 into 40. How much will that be? 2880. See, 72 into 4. Again, how do you multiply a number by 4? Multiplying by 4 is difficult. Multiplying by 4 is a little difficult. Multiply by 2. Multiply the result again by 2. So into 4 is as good as into 2 into 2. So 72 into 2, 144. Into 2, 288. So 72 into 40 will be 2880. So this will happen within no time. I'm explaining it, so it is taking longer. When you do it here itself, without speaking out, it is really quick. So 72 into 40 is 2880. What is required? 72 into 43. So 3 more times. What should be taken 3 more times? 72. What is 72 into 3? 216. So 2880 plus 216. 2880 plus 200 is 3080. 3080 plus 16 is 3096. I can see Ananya Nayak has already mentioned the answer. 3096. Great. Vinod Rathod has got 2880 plus 216. So it's very simple. It's just that you have to practice a little bit so that it becomes easy. Right? Vikram Reddy, Abhijit Kumar, Vinod Rathod. I'm sure there are many others who have got the answer as 3096. So all you have to check at this point of time is, did you get this answer 3096 mentally without putting it on paper, or you had to do some rough calculation? If you had to do some rough calculation, then you are not fit for this exam. I may sound a little blunt, but that's the fact, because competition is huge. I'm not saying that it is difficult to crack these exams, but there are a lot of students, lakhs of students appearing for these exams. In fact, one of the statistics says that last year, 79 lakh people applied for the SSC CHSL exam. So you can imagine, 79 lakh is like what? 80 lakh students, close to 8 million people. And in such a huge competition, even a split of a second can make a difference. So you have to be very, very quick, right? If you are not able to do these 2-digit calculations without paper, you have a long way to go, right? So pull your socks up and start practicing. Okay. Now, enough of numbers. I've always talked about numbers in sessions of aptitude. Let us quickly look at some of the questions that were asked in last year's paper, right? I have all the 50 questions here, but we have very limited time. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do all the questions, but let's start working. So what I'll do now is share my screen with all of you, present the questions to you all, one after the other, give you some time to try it out yourself, and then discuss the solution. Okay. But before that, I would actually like to know how many of you had got the answer on paper. 3096 is the answer, right? I forgot the question. What was the question? 43 into 72. Yeah. So 3096 is what all of us have got, right? How many of you have done it on paper? Honestly, tell me how many of you have done this calculation on paper. Some of you have mentioned that you have done it mentally, so I really appreciate that. Keep up the good work, and I'm sure you'll score more, right? Abhijit Kumar has mentioned that yes, he has done it mentally. Vinod Rathod, Hitesh, all of them have said yes. But done it, paper is the question. Be very honest. I mean, there's nothing that you will lose. Verma says, I have done. Yeah. Vikram Reddy says it was done mentally. It was done mentally. Vinod Rathod says he spent 36 seconds to do it mentally. It's a long time. Ramesh has done it on paper. Rakshat Jaiswal has done it on paper. Kalyan Kumar Gupta has done it on paper. Kirti has done it on paper. So guys, there are others who can do it without paper, right? You have seen in the same chat. Some of them have mentioned that they can do it mentally. So quick, take some actions now, right? Akshay Kumar Singh has also done it on paper. I'm sure a lot of us have this problem. See, it is just because of our habit. I'm not saying you are doing it intentionally, but the point is, yeah, a couple of more guys there, right? I think there's a username called GetStroke, and then we have Chandrasekhar, Jitesh, Ramchandani. All of them have done on paper. So I was saying something, yeah. So you'll have to, practice really a lot, right? The more you practice, the easier it gets. So time now to share the screen. I will present the first question to you all, and here we go. Okay, here's the first question. This is from mensuration. Let me just pull my pen out 1 second. Yeah. So here's the first one. This is from mensuration. It says the radius of a hemispherical bowl is 6 centimeter. So the capacity of the bowl is. So the radius of some hemispherical bowl is given as 6 centimeter. We have to find out the capacity of the bowl, right? Capacity here is nothing but the volume, right? What is the volume of the bowl is the question. Okay. And he says take pi as 22/7, right? Pi is equal to 22/7. So options are 345.53, 452.57, 495.51, and 450. Now I am sure all of you know what the formula is. See, mensuration questions are all about formula. If you know the formula, you'll be able to solve it. Otherwise, you have no choice but to leave it, right? So here you should know the formula. He's asking us to find out the capacity. All of you know that capacity here is volume. So basically, we have to find out the volume of the bowl. And this bowl is in hemispherical shape. Hemispherical is what? Hemispherical is half of a sphere. So you should know what is the volume of a sphere and take half of it. Volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. Now I'm assuming that all of you know the formula. But here we have to take the volume of hemisphere. What is the volume of hemisphere? Hemisphere or semisphere, both are same. It's just that one is Latin, the other is Greek or something, right? So half the full volume, right? Half of the full. So 4/3 pi r cube divided by 2. Now, knowing this formula is not great. All of us would know this, right? All of us would know that volume is 4/3 pi r cube and you have to take half of it. What matters is how quickly do you do the calculation and mark the answer here. So you have let's say 40 seconds for this. Your time starts now. We've already got a few answers here from the champion, and yeah, there's this username again, which is Deathstroke. Both of them are marked the answer as 452. Jitesh has got the answer as 452.57. So option 4 is what? Option D is what a couple of you have marked. But then there are others who have got 452.57, which is option B. Verma is also B. Rakshat Jaiswal. Now, while solving the question, I want all of you to focus on one point. What is taking a lot of time here? When you're solving this question, where do you think you're spending maximum time? Is it in deciding the formula? Is it in reading the question? Or is it in doing the calculation? I'm sure the answer will be doing the calculation. So that is what you have to work on. Formula is there. Just substitute the values and do the calculation. So I think the confusion is between option 2 and option 4. Option B and option D. I think there's an equal distribution between option B and D. Close to half of you say that the answer is 452. The other half says that the answer is 452.57. And both the options are close. Both the options are close. Close enough, right? So so 10 more seconds and then we'll take it up. Kalyan Kumar Gupta says yes, calculation takes time. Akshay Kumar also says calculation takes time. So all of you have to start working on it now. Yeah, both are very close. So how do you decide which is the correct answer? Has the question mentioned, or is it mentioned in the question that you have to do an approximate calculation? No. I think what I sense is you will not get an integer answer to this question. The kind of values that we have, you will not get a result which is an integer. It will be a non-integer value. And the fact that it is a non-integer value eliminates option D straight. Right? Suppose the question is about approximate calculation, then maybe you can say option D. But in this case, where we are not supposed to do an approximate calculation, how do you get option D as the answer? There's still a few who have got right. Ashu has just mentioned that the answer is 452. So let's solve this. We have already discussed the formula. Volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. We have to take half of it. So 4/3 pi r cube by 2. Or we can say it is 4/6. 4/6 or 2/3. 4/6 pi r cube. Now substitute 4/6 into pi should be taken as 22/7 into r cube. R cube is what? 6 into 6 into 6. Right? And the radius is given as 6 centimeters. So 6 into 6. Now 6 and 6 gets cancelled. We are left with 4 into 22/7 into 6 into 6. Now 6 into 6 is 36. 36 into 4, 24. right? If you see 6 into 6, 36. 36 into 4. Again, how do you do 36 into 4? 36 into 2, 72. 72 into 2, 144. 144. So we have 144. So 22 by 44. Now, this is why I said we will not get an integer answer. 22 by 7 is 3.14 approximately, right? It is an irrational number. And 144 by 7 also is not a, 144 is not perfectly divisible by 7. So answer will not be an integer. Option B gets eliminated straight. It should either be A or C or B. A or C or B. Now when you look at A, C and B, or A, B and C, we can do an approximate calculation now to figure out which is the correct one. See, 345, 452 and 495 are not close to each other. Look at the integer parts. 345, 452 and 495 are all far away from each other, right? So I can do some approximate calculation here to come close to the answer. Like for example, 22 by 7 is approximately 3.14 or approximately 3, let's say. Right? Approximately 3. Approximately 3. 3 into 144. How much is 3 into 144? See, 140 into 3 is 420. 4 into 3 is 12. 420 plus 12, 432. So approximately 432. And you very well know that answer will actually be greater than 432. Why will it be greater than 432? Because we have taken 22 by 7 as 3. Actual value is 3.14. So if the actual value is more, actual result will also be more. It will be more than 432. Which option is more than 432? Option A gets eliminated. Of course, 495 is also more than 432, but it will not be so big, right? It cannot go up to 495. Option B has to be the answer. So even without doing the complete calculation, you can say that the answer is option B. But between B and D, D has to get eliminated first because the answer is a non-integer. If you say, no, I don't want to take all such chances, I don't want to do an approximate calculation, then do the complete calculation. Nobody is stopping you, right? It will be 3.14 into 144. 3.14 into 144, right? Or maybe you can take it as 22 by 7 into 144. So which option satisfies? Just check that. Okay? Option B is the correct answer. So all those who have got option B, 452.57 are correct. Again, the takeaway from this solution should be that the formula is not important. Formula is not the key. The key is how quickly do you play with these numbers. All right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, here comes the next one. This is from ratios and proportions, or partnerships in fact. It says, in a business, A and C invested amounts in the ratio 2:1, whereas A and B invested amounts in the ratio 3:2. If their annual profit is rupees 1,57,300, then what is B's share in the profit? So basically, two different ratios have been given. A is to C and A is to B. We have to first club these two ratios to get A. Once you know what is A, B, C ratio, you can find out the individual values from the given total profit. So 45 seconds for this one too. Your time has already started. Again, I'm sure what takes maximum time is the calculation part, not the complete solution. It is the calculation. Anyone who's got it? No comments yet? Okay, the first response is from Devesh Sharma, who has got 48,400, option B. And so has Abhijit Singh. Mark the answer, right? Jitesh Ramchandani, Kalyan Kumar Gupta, Kirti. So all of you have got 48,400. But look at the amount of time that you have spent. I'm not very happy with the response. All of you have got the right answer. Looks like 48,400 is the right answer. But what is not really strong here is the speed. Right? You have to work on your speed. Anyway, what do we do? Must be because of paperwork only. Let's look at the solution. So it says, in a business, A and C invested amounts in the ratio of 2:1. So A is to C is equal to 2:1. A and C have invested in the ratio 2:1. Whereas A and B invested amounts in the ratio 3:2. A:B is equal to 3:2. A and C have invested 2:1. A and B have invested 3:2. Now, annual profit is 1,57,300. Then what is B's share in the profit? What is B's share in the profit? First and foremost, you have to club the two ratios. You have to find out what is A:B:C. A:B:C is equal to what? How do you do that? Just look at only one point, right? Whenever these two ratios are given, two different ratios are given to you, look at the common term there. Like here, what do we have common? A is common in both the ratios. Here we have A:C and here it is A:B. Now try to make those two values equal. Like here we have A as 2 parts, C is 1 part. Here we have A as 3 parts and B is 2 parts. So in one case A is 2 parts, in the other case A is equal to 3 parts. These two are unequal, which have to be made equal. How can you make it equal? Multiply by common, multiply by factors such that it becomes a common multiple of 2 and 3. Like for example, 2 can be multiplied by something to get 6. 3 can also be multiplied by something to get 6. Right? So 2 should be multiplied by 3. Now if 2 is multiplied by 3, it becomes 6. But you know that when 2 is multiplied by 3, 1 should also get multiplied by 3. Yes or no? If you have multiplied the numerator by denominator multiplied by 3. So A:C, which was 2:1, becomes 6. And this is a no-brainer. I am probably longer, but you know what has to be done there. So 2:1 becomes 6:3. Similarly, 3:2 becomes 6:4. Multiply by 2 here on both sides. So 3 into 2, 6. 2 into 2, 4. So the ratios have now changed to 6:3 and 6:4. Now what do you see? In A:C, A is equal to 6 parts. In A:B, A is equal to 6 parts. In both the cases, A is equal to 6 parts. So I can say now the comparison is easy. What is B is equal to 4 parts? Right? B is equal to 4 parts. And what is C? 3 parts. Done. You've got the ratio. 6:4:3. Then simple. He's asking us to find out the share of B. What is B? B has got how many parts? 4. 4 out of total. 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 3, 13. 4 out of 13. Multiply this by 1573. 1573. Now here comes the point. How quickly do you divide 1573 by 13? This is what matters. If you are able to do this mentally, you are good enough. Otherwise, you end up wasting a lot of time. Now here comes the concept of split and merge. Whatever we had discussed right in the beginning of the session. The same thing has to be used here as well. What do you do? See, our requirement is to divide 1573 by 13. What I would do is split 1573 in multiples of 13. Try to split 1573 in terms of multiples of 13. So 1573 will become 1300 plus 273. See, this has to be done mentally. I am writing it here, so it is taking time, but you have to just visualize this. So 1573 can be taken as 1300 plus 273. Why am I taking it as 1300 plus 273? Why not 1500 plus 73? Because when you take 1500, is it divisible by 13? No. 1300, yes. 1300 is divisible by 30. Whether 273 is divisible or not, that's secondary. But first observation should be done in such a way that split should be done in such a way that the bigger part that you have taken is divisible by the denominator. So 1300 is divisible by 13. And clearly 1300 by 13 will give you 100. So first part has given you 100. Now look at 273. If you can directly say 273 by 13 equals to 21, nothing like it. If you are unable to do it, then again break 273. 273 can be taken as 260 plus 13. Why are we taking 260 plus 13? Why not 250 plus 23? Because the denominator is 13. So always break the numerator in terms of a multiple of the denominator. So 260 by 13 is 20. 13 by 13 is 1. So 100 plus 20 plus 1. How much is that? 121. So basically this is equal to 121. 121 into 4, 484. That's your answer. Option B is your answer. 484. 48400. Of course, 2 zeros that we had here have to be added. You're getting it? Are you able to follow? There's one more way of doing it. I mean, if at all you want to eliminate some options, let's say, you may not get the exact answer, but when you look at 4 by 13, 4 by 13 is like 1/3. Yes or no? 4 by 13. B has got 4 bars out of total 13 bars. So 4 out of 13 is like 1/3 of the value, right? 1/3 of the value. What is 1/3 of the value? 1/3 of what? 1/3 of 1,57,000. What is 1/3 of 1,50,000? 50,000. Close to 50,000. Answer should be closer to 50,000. So immediately option A and option D get eliminated. But unfortunately, both B and C are like 48,000, right? Close to 50,000. 48,400, 48,000. So what happens? It is so easy to eliminate the options now. Of course, unit digital route method, but simple elimination is it should be close to 1/3. A and D are eliminated. The only two options left now are 48,400 and 48,000. Anyways, when you do the proper calculation, you will get option B. Next question. Here comes the next one. It goes to the rate of 2.5 kilometers per hour and reaches 6 minutes late. If he travels at the speed of 3 kilometers per hour, he is 10 minutes early. What is the distance to the school? Now that's an interesting one. When a student is traveling at the speed of 2.5 kilometers per hour, he reaches his school late by 6 minutes. But when he increases the speed and travels at 3 kilometers per hour, by how much did he increase his speed? By 0.5 kilometers per hour. So when he increases his speed, the time taken is reduced. He is early to the school by 10 minutes. So in case 1, he is late by 6 minutes. In case 2, he is early by 10 minutes. Based on this data, we have to find out the distance between the school and the home of the student. So 1 minute for this. The time starts now. 4 kilometers. Yeah. I can see many of you have already marked the answer as 4 kilometers. So tell me, what did you do? Glad that all of you got 4 kilometers as the answer. But what did you do to get the answer? Four kilometers, right? Let me just read out all the names. All those who have got 4 kilometers as the answer. We have Bindu Bhargavi, Akshay Kumar Singh, Kalyan Kumar. Then Vinod Rathod has got 25 seconds. That must be the time that he has spent. Abhijit Kumar, Vikram Reddy, Pratap Chandra. Okay, Abhijit Kumar has given us the solution. Here he says S1 into S2 divided by S1 minus S2 into time. Vikram Reddy says LCM of both the speeds into time. Vikram Reddy has given an interesting solution. LCM of both the speeds into time. What do you mean by LCM of both the speeds? 2.5 and 3. What is LCM? 15 is LCM. So I don't really understand what Vikram is trying to say there, but look at the solution. See, simple shortcut formula. Now here shortcut formula will be helpful, but then you have to be good in calculation, of course, right? So there is a regular method of solving this question. We can assume the first case where he has reached 6 minutes late. We can say the time taken is t plus 6. In the second case where he has reached 10 minutes early, we can say the time taken is t minus 10 and so on. But instead of doing all that, just look at the shortcut formula, the direct formula here. Shortcut formula. How does it work? Distance is equal to S1 into S2 into delta t divided by S1 difference S2. If you remember this formula, you can solve this very popular question from time and distance in a jiffy, provided you do your quick calculations. So formula is S1 into S2 into delta t divided by S1 difference S2. Now what are S1 and S2? The speeds, 2.5 and 3 kilometers per hour respectively. What is this delta t? Now this delta t is the difference of the time. Time to, time when he has reached late plus the time when he has reached early. Now you might be wondering, when it is delta t, which is supposed to be the difference, why are we adding? See, we are adding because in one case he is late, in the other case he is early. So it is like this. If you look at the x, this is the origin leg. When he is late, let's say he is on this side. When he is early, he is on this side. So overall the difference is what? So let's say so minus 10. He is early by 6 minutes, so plus 6. When I have to find out the difference, this length, how much is it? Is it 4 or 16? It is 16. 6 on this side, 10 on this side. So 16, total distance 16. So delta t has to be calculated carefully. He's 6 minutes late and 10 minutes early. Suppose the right time to reach the school is 9 a.m. Let's say. When he's 6 minutes late, he will reach at 9:06 a.m. When he's 10 minutes early, he reaches at 8:50 a.m. Now, we are supposed to find the difference between these two times. How much is the difference? 8:50 a.m. to 9:06 a.m. 16 minutes. Or simply add 6 minutes plus 10 minutes, 16 minutes. So that delta T here equal to 16. Substitute 2.5 into 3 into delta T 16 minutes divided by S1 difference S2. Now what is 2.5 difference 3? 0.5. Yes or no? 2.5 difference 3, 0.5. One important point to be noted here is the speeds S1, S2 and the difference are all in kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour. Yes or no? Kilometers per hour. But the time that we have taken is in minutes. 16 minutes. So the units are not balanced, right? One is in kilometers per hour, the other one is in minutes. So you have to convert minutes to hours. How do you convert 60 minutes to hours? Divide by 60. That's it. Simplify this and you know what the answer is. You're able to follow. We have divided by 60 because we want to convert 16 minutes to hours. 16 minutes is equal to 16 by 60 hours. Now calculate 0.5 goes 5 times. 5 into 3 is 15. 15 here goes 4 times. 16 by 4 is 4. 4 kilometer is the answer. Option B. Right? There are other ways of doing it. I mean, if you do not know the shortcut formula, what you can do, the difference between the two times is equal to, see, time in one case minus time in the other case is equal to 16 minutes. What is time? Distance by speed. So distance by 2.5 minus distance is same in both the cases. Distance by 3 is equal to 16 by 60. Same calculation. From this formula only, from this method only, we have derived the shortcut formula. Right? When you take D common and do all that calculation, you will get the same answer. S1 into S2 into delta T divided by S1 difference S2. So this is what basically is the concept. The difference of two times is 16 minutes. We are using the same concept. Time is equal to distance by speed. So D by 2.5. Here it is D by 3. The difference of these two is equal to 16 minutes. Why 16 minutes? We have discussed already. One is getting late, the other is getting early. So the magnitude will get added, right? Because the sign has changed. So either use this, or if you can remember the shortcut formula, just substitute the values and get the answer. Okay. So let's look at the next one. We have very limited time left. Here comes the next question. This is from mensuration, we can say. The question says each side of a cube is decreased by 25%. Each side of a cube is decreased by 25%. Find the ratio of the volumes of the original cube and the resulting cube. So you have to find out the ratio of the volumes of the original cube and the resulting cube. What do you mean by resulting cube? The cube that we get after decreasing the size by 25%. Got the answer? 27 is to 64. Harsh Sharma, Ananya Nayak have got the answers 27 is to 64, which are correct or incorrect, we'll figure out. But option B or option D, I think you guys are divided. Some of you are saying it should be option B, which is 64 is to 27, while others say it should be option D, 27 is to 64. Okay, let's discuss this. See, simple. He says each side of a cube is decreased by 25%. Find the ratio of the volumes of the original cube and resulting cube. Now tell me, you are decreasing the side. So the resulting cube will be smaller or bigger? Or which cube will be bigger? Original cube or resulting cube? Obviously, original cube will be bigger. He's asking us to find what ratio? Original cube's ratio with the resulting cube ratio. Yes or no? When you know that original cube is going to be bigger, how can you mark option D as the answer? Option D wrong. 37 is 64 shows that the first term is smaller than the second term. But we very well know that original cube is bigger than the resulting cube. So D is eliminated. So all those who are confused about B or D, be very clear. Option B should be the answer. Right? Now, how do we do this? See, volume of a cube, basically volume of the original cube. Volume of a cube is what? Side cube, S cube. Let us assume the original side is S is equal to 4. So what will be the new side S dash? It was decreased by 25%, right? So when you decrease 4 by 25%, how much do you get? You will get 3. Decreasing 4 by 25%. So we get 3. So 4 becomes 3. So 4 cube is to 3 cube. That's your answer. 64 is to 27. And you have to mark the answer to this question in 0 seconds. Are you able to follow? By the time you finish reading the question, you should know that the answer would be 64 is to 27. Now, you may ask me a question, how do you know that the side is 4? I don't know the side is 4. You can take any side. I can take the side as 2. In that case, the resulting side will be 1.5. So 2 cube is to 1.5 cube. That will make your life only more complicated. So choose the values intelligently, smart, right? This question should not take more than, see, 0 seconds is an exaggeration, but it should not take more than, in my view. You read the question, and you know the answer is 64 to 27. You can take any value you want. You can take 2.5 and whatever resulting value as well, but it will only make it complicated. Okay? Or you can take, let's say original side is 100, the new side is, so 100 cube is to 75 cube. But there's a lot of calculation. 100 into 100 into 100 is to 75 into 75 into 75. Ultimately, what happens? Take 25 common. So 25 into 4, 25 into 3. Take another 25 common into 4 into 3. Take another 25 common into 4 into 3. So 4 into 4 into 4, 64 is to 3 into 3 into 3, 27. We'll come back to the same value that we had got earlier. Right? So solve it using 100 or 4 or 3. Ultimately, you have to reduce the side by 25% to get the new side and take the ratio of the volumes. Okay, 64 is to 27. 100 into 100 into 100 is to 75 into 75 into 75. So 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, 3 times. Okay, option B is the answer. Okay, but this is in my view, calculation is involved. So keep it simple. 4 becomes 3. So 4 cube is to 3 cube. Next question. Okay, here's the next one. This is from algebra. Algebra. X plus y equals to 2a. Then the value of a by x minus a plus a by y minus a is equal to what? Try this out. X plus y equals to 2a. Sum of x and y is equal to 2a. He's asking us to find out the value of a by x minus a plus a by y minus a. Quick. You have 1 minute for this. Vikram Reddy and Abhijit have got 0. Vinay Shukla has got option C, which is 1. Pratap Chandra has got 0. I think 3 of you have got 0 as the answer, except one person who has got 1. Kirtika, Bindu have got. So Kirtika, Bindu has got 1. Kalyan Kumar has got 0. All right, time is up. I can see that a lot of you have marked the answer as option B, but there are a couple of you who have got option C. So let me explain this now. What does it say? X plus y is equal to 2a. x plus y is equal to 2a. Then what is the value of a by x minus a plus a by y minus a? So basically x plus y is equal to 2a. Then what is a by x minus a plus a by y minus a? Now this in my view are the easiest question types from algebra. Or even otherwise I would say these are like very, very simple questions. Citrus. See, there is no condition there in the question except that x plus y should be equal to 2a. Satisfy this condition using some values of x and y at a and substitute the same values here. Here should be the answer. You're able to follow. If you don't want to actually worry about getting the right equation, and all that in the traditional method, just substitute some values randomly in the given condition. What is the condition given to us? X plus y should be equal to 2a. So let us assume equal to 2. Assume y is equal to 4. Y is equal to 4. So what happens? 2a will be equal to 2 plus 4, right? Which means a is equal to 3. You're done. So question, indirectly he's saying x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4, a is equal to 3. Now you may ask me a question, x equal to 2 and y equal to 4 was not given. This is what we have chosen. Doesn't matter. You take any value for x and y, accordingly find the value of a, substitute these values back into this expression, you will get the final answer. So do this now, what do we get? A is equal to 3. 3 by x minus a. So 2 minus 3 plus a is equal to 3. Y minus a. 4 minus 3. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So basically minus 3 plus 3. Minus 3 plus 3. Gets cancelled. We will be left with 0. So option B is your answer. But if at all you want to do it in a regular method, traditional method, what do you do? See, x plus y is equal to 2a. You can say x minus a is equal to a minus y. Take this 2a as a plus a. Take 1a on the other side and bring y on this side. So x minus a is equal to a minus y. Substitute. From the equation given to us, we know that x minus a equal to a minus y. Substitute it here. Now what is that equation? A by x minus a. Now x minus a can be taken as a minus y plus a by y minus a. Now overall if you see a by y minus a, if you take minus sign common here, this becomes a minus y. I am overwriting on that, but you have understood, right? I mean, you don't have to write this step in the exam. A by a minus y, a by minus of a minus y. So this is like, m minus n, or some term minus, which is equal to 0. So either ways you get the answer, but do not, right? Most of the questions from algebra and trigonometry can be solved just by substitution. Just by substitution. But sometimes substitutions can be complex. I mean, it may not give you the answer. So you have to choose the values accordingly. Like for example, I assume that if I take, like here we have taken x equals to 2 and y equals to 4, so we are able to get it. But let's say both x and y are equal. Now you can ask me a question. Where is it given that x and y are equal? It's not given. But is it also given that they are unequal? No. So I can do anything I want. So let's say x equals to 2 and y also equals to 2. So then what will be the value of a? 4 by 2, a is also equal to 2. So basically x, y, a all are 2, 2 and 2. Substitute here. So what happens? 2 by 2 minus 0. That results to infinity. Now, because it is giving us an undefined solution, we will assume that this substitution is incorrect. See, substitute the values in a way that you get a proper answer. Options are very clearly given as 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. So when you are getting an undefined, change substitution. Okay, change your substitution and it becomes easy. All right. So option B is the answer. So one last question before we close it. It is already 7 o'clock, but here's the next one. One more from algebra, and we'll close it after this. So again, it says for real A, B, C, which means for real values of A, B, and C, if A squared plus B squared plus C squared equals to AB plus BC plus C, then what is the value of A plus C by B? So what is the condition now? That A squared plus B squared plus C squared should be equal to AB plus BC plus C. Again, if you are a smart student, if you have practiced using substitution during your preparation, you will know that A, B, C, all three are equal. Only then this is possible. I mean, there can be other solutions as well, but then simple. Substitute 2, 2, 2. So 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. And 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 2, 4. 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. So can I say A, B, C all are equal? Yes. You can substitute 1, 1, 1 also. 1 square, 1 square, 1 square, 3. 1 into 1, 1 into 1, 1 into 1, 3. You can substitute 16, 16, 16 also. 16 squared, 16 squared, 16 squared. So 256 plus 256 plus 256. 16 into 16 is 16 squared. 16 into 16, 16 squared. 16 into 16, 16 squared. So again, 256 plus 256 is 2. So 716, 716. So basically, A, B, C, all three are equal. If you have realized all three are equal, the question is A plus C by B. Let us substitute A plus C by B as A plus A by A. Because C is equal to A, B is also equal to A. So 2A by A, it is equal to 2. Option C would be the answer. Alright? So substitution method is really very, very important, especially in trigonometry and algebra. But it needs a little practice. So when you're preparing for these exams, use the substitution method. Most of the questions from these two topics can be answered just by simple substitution and elimination of options. Okay? Just you have followed that. Let me get back to the video now. I think time is up. I'll have to close it here. I wish we could solve a few more questions, but don't worry. You can take this as a practice paper. Like I said, sourcing SSC papers is never difficult, right? The papers are public. Student gets to carry the paper. So you will have all these test forms which are made available last year. So just practice the questions given there. Practice from other sources as well, so that you're fully geared up for this exam. Okay? And whenever you have your exam in this window, remember, at least one day before your exam, preparation and practice. Because you have to, let this part of your body get ready for the exam. Don't push it until the last minute of the examination. Okay? Because, be calm and composed for for giving the best performance during that 1 hour or 2 hours of the examination. Okay, so let it also have a peaceful sleep. Let it relax so that you can exploit it to the fullest during the exam. Okay, using it so much that it doesn't perform in the exam makes no sense. All right. So one point that it's okay, no play makes Jack a dull boy. So practicing is very, very important, but not until the last minute. Okay. On that note, I would like to close the session. Please remember that these exams are not just a test of your knowledge, but more of a test of your state of mind. Okay. So let it relax, be calm, be composed, don't get nervous, so that you can give your best shot. I wish you all the very best for your exams, not just this one, but all other exams that we're going to take this year. And practice is the key. Okay, so keep practicing, but not until the last minute. Okay, we'll meet again next week with a session. I will be on the English comprehension part of the SSC CHSL exam, and it will be taken up by Surabhi. I'm sure you have participated in one of our earlier sessions, which was held last week for interview etiquettes. So do join us with your friends again next week for the session on English comprehension for the SSC CHSL exam. Okay, till then, keep practicing and take good care of yourselves. See you all.